A teenager on probation has been held in a juvenile detention facility since mid-May because she failed to do her homework assignment, her online homework assignment in the middle of this pandemic. Now, recently, a family court judge refused a motion to release the girl. She's only 15 years old. She goes by her middle name, Grace. And the judge argued that, no, I think that this teenager is actually better off in a detention facility in the middle of a pandemic. It's just such a devastating story. Before I give you what the judge had to say about this, let's go back and see a news report that explains how this 15-year-old ended up in this facility in the first place.
This was not an easy decision to make.
On Monday, a judge denied Grace's request for an early release from a juvenile residential center, calling her a danger to her mother. Grace was placed in detention in May after violating her probation by failing to complete online schoolwork. Her probation stemmed from a physical altercation with her mother last fall and for stealing a student's property.
How many times does she get to jump her mom before you think that she's a threat of harm to her mom? How many times?
The defense pointed out that many students struggle with virtual learning, especially those like Grace, who has ADHD and is on a special education plan.
So Grace has been struggling because of her learning disability, but also, she had been placed on probation because of some interactions with her mother. She also took a cell phone from one of her classmates and later returned it, but she got in trouble for that as well. So what does our system do? Immediately criminalize children. I mean, she's 15 years old. So she gets placed on probation, which means anything that she does that might be deemed inappropriate by this judge lands her in a juvenile detention facility where she's been since May. And so now she's trying to get back to her family. She wants to get out of that facility for obvious reasons. It's not the safest place to be in the middle of a pandemic. And so the judge, Mary Ellen Brennan, says the following: I think you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are blooming there. There is more work to be done. Give yourself a chance to follow through and finish something. The right thing is for you and your mom to be separated right now. And Grace's heartbreaking response, John, was, I miss my mom.
Yeah.
I can control myself. And this is the part that just broke my heart. I can be obedient.
Yeah.
God, our system is just so broken in so many different ways.
I've never, from the very beginning of this story, through multiple iterations, I haven't understood how it existed. How is this not one of the things where when it got picked up, they immediately scrambled to right things, embarrassed by the fact that the nation was looking at this obvious injustice, but they didn't. It just continues, and like ostensibly, the rationale for this is, we got to do what's best for the kid. At what point do you start to question whether that's actually the motivation? How many months are you supposed to spend there? It's just madness. No one should be treated this way. No kid should be treated this way. And that quote, I totally agree. It's devastating because of the possibility that it indicates that they were successful, that they broke her with this sort of treatment. And that is not in her best interest, not in any way.
How does this? How does this help anyone? She's 15 years old. She made mistakes. She's obviously remorseful. Just to give you more details, the decision by this judge came despite an argument from the attorneys of the teenager, Grace, that the therapy and educational support she receives at the facility are adequate, and a statement by the prosecutor. We're talking about the prosecutor, right? The person who's supposed to be like real tough on her. The prosecutor said that his office supports her release. But the judge is like, no, I think you're doing real well in a detention facility in the middle of a pandemic when you desperately want to be back home with your mother. Yeah, it's horrifying.
We're supposed to be trying to get everybody out. Like we're sending, like Cohen got out and stuff like that. But we're locking kids up because they had a spat with their parent, which every kid does. Not every kid gets locked up, but some do.
Yeah, and I think that the race angle really does matter, because if you look at the school to prison pipeline, you look at the numbers, Black children disproportionately make up the people, the children who end up in these juvenile detention facilities relative to what the population is for Black people in society versus the population they make up when it comes to these detention facilities. In fact, let me just give you a quick graphic explaining that. It's the very last one. According to ProPublica, from January of 2016 to June of 2020, about 4,800 juvenile cases were referred to the Oakland County Circuit Court. About 42% involved Black youth, although the population in the county is about 15%. Yeah. So I think this, of course, brings up the issue of racial biases and what the judge sees when a person is there in that courtroom, what kind of stereotypes or biases play a role in the judge's decision. There's no reason why this 15-year-old who's shown improvement, who's shown remorse, who really wants to be back home with her mom, shouldn't be back home with her mom. It's what everyone wants. And if the prosecutor is saying that she should be released, then the judge should take that to heart. But unfortunately, she's not.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.